Hello friends, family, and fans, I'm Harder D, and we are back playing I Love You, Colonel Sanders. So last time we started day 2 of our culinary 3-day semester. We had a cook-off, which we apparently failed, and then we threw our hand into a mixer and, destroyed my hand. So, yeah, that's a barrel of fun. We ran outside to get away from everyone, and Colonel Sanders followed us, so we're about to find out what he has to say. So, let's jump in. Whoop! Alright, so here we go. Oh, I love this, though. There's a load option, but there's no save option. So, what am I loading exactly? Alright, resume. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly. I know you're hurting right now. Not just from the devastating loss, but from that run-in with the mixer and that small fire. We should get that checked out. I'm fine. Can't you just leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill your fryer. Whoa! That's a new one. He's totally gonna fill his fryer. I'll never be a master chef. Failure is a part of life. Not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I'll never fail at anything before? Do you think I've never failed at anything before? That's exactly what I think. Well, think again. I wasn't always the man you see before you. Enrolled in culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, motivated, have a huge horse dong. Yes, I may be all those things. There's no but. I literally am just all those things. Well, handsome for sure. I was born that way. Just like this massive horse dong I have. Woo! But I've walked other paths. I've arrived at dead ends. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an obstetrician. I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel. I lost my business partner to a gunfight. I didn't know. People see my delicate ribbon tie and my well-kept beard and assume that I've got it all together, which is true now, but it hasn't always been. But I've always had a horse dong. Sounds like this guy could really use a hug. I resolved that when I was going to amount to something, no amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving the best I had to give. As Colonel Sanders changes focus, you can see something ignite inside of him, a burning passion. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My new dream is pure, it's honest, it's something that a humble man in the crisp white suit can be proud of, with a massive horse dong. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds. Yay! Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by the threatening, shadowy presence. Battle scarred from the night before, you prepare for the worst. It's the Spork Monster! Gork, the Spork Monster is here to fight a hero! Is anyone feeling a bit of deja vu? I'm sorry, Gorko, but I could have sworn we already battled you last night. That was Borko, my twin. I, Gorko, are here to avenge him. Are you stronger than Borko? Well, we're twins, so no, not really. We're pretty much exactly equal in every way. Why do you ask? Colonel Sanders smirks. He is already on the same page as you. It's just as we beat Borko pretty easily, so I don't think you have much of a chance. Not to mention, I feel really guilty about that. If I could take it back, I would. I think what Poopfart is trying to say is, can't we just be friends? Life is too short to make enemies. I suppose, but we really don't need to fight. It's just that I've got these pointy teeth and claws. All the better for enjoying tasty food. Surely you like to eat, don't we all? Of course I do. Inspiration strikes you to come up with a quick idea. Chomp on this! You toss a biscuit into Gordo's open mouth and he devours it in one gulp. Delicious! You're much nicer than the evil students who once upon a time turned me into this creature who stands here today. I don't believe it. You were a human once? Well, no, I was Chihuahua. Really? But I was still a student at the school, until one day some mean kids with a magic spellbook cast a dark enchantment on me, and I was forever transformed. A magic spellbook? Precisely. Oracle used to have a copy, but somewhere along the way I've lost it. If you find such a book, I beg you, respect it. You're a powerful chef, and shouldn't rely on such dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who would cheat through using sorcery and guile. Sorcery and guile, you say? This sounds exactly up my alley. Where can I find this book? If you need me, don't fear. I'll be there. It sounds like there are some bad cooks in the kitchen of life. Poop fart. Together, I am sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hideaway and we can discuss. Probably my horse dog. A personal invite? You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Stepping inside Colonel Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. It looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure, if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining! Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I've always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. It's meant to be paired with something spicy, or something crispy. Both, perhaps? Now you've got him right where you want him. On the bed, lying almost naked. Should you reveal your new creation to him, or keep it a secret, just for you? Reveal it, like I want him to reveal his massive horse dong. You decide that you're ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bay for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. Of course it's coleslaw. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' luxe hideaway. Magnificent. Together you chow down on creamy coleslaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to this last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but it seems very sentimental kind of guy. Sure. Why not? Please, make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Around the room are various items that you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap on them to discover the Colonel. Wow, really? Alright. Chicken. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on a corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic. It's real. Taxidermy must have been important to Colonel Sanders when it was alive. A little note clipped to the chicken foot reads, "A true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." Tap on the item to discover more about the Colonel. You gaze out the window at the vast lake and mountain range beyond. Just then a ghost of student pops up. Are you thinking about heading out into the world on a quest to avenge my death? Wait, what? No, I've never learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window and crack and the ghost of student is swept out with a breeze. Tap on the... Screw that guy. Alright, what's this? This must be where he keeps the secret recipe. Is it a safe? Oh, it is a wall safe. You think for a moment what number is important to Colonel Sanders. Then it dawns on you. As soon as you turn the dial to 111111, the safe opens. Inside you find a single note. Can chicken be prepared sushimi style? Tap on... Okay. Oh, really? An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor. From the goatee and mustache combo he sprouts, you figure that this must be Colonel Sanders himself. That, or maybe it's the drumstick that he seems to be willingly waving like who seems to be waving like a rattle. Who frames baby pictures of just themselves? Probably the same type of person who would make their own face the logo of a company they founded. Am I right? You tap on an item to just go, ooh, now there's a door. Let's look at this pot. You take a closer look at a large urn sitting on a nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lie the ashes of my past careers and business failures." Poor guy. Tap on an item. This. It's a comb. A lock of silver hair is woven through the teeth of the comb. Upon further inspection, you realize that the hair therein isn't just silvery in color. It's actually made of spun silver. Tap on... okay. And a candle. Scented candle. Its scent is scented candle. A scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell. Power tool. Freshly starched collar. Piece of wood floating in the lake. Summer of '69. No. It's one of the secret ingredients. It's turkey! Tap on an ingredient to discover more about the Colonel. Okay. A photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except it's a very old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt. Maybe this is where he discovered one of the secret herbs and spices. One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold a fried chicken drumsticks and appear to be cheersing them. No, they're not. You look closely and see there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. Tap on... alright, let's head to there. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet to find a row of signature white suits hanging within. You take one off its hanger and try it on. It's a jacket that's a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in the scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he's been working on, and he wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks you why you're wearing his jacket. I don't understand. I don't usually loan these out, but I must say it does look good on you. Oh crap! The jacket! You forgot to take it off! You fess up and tell the truth. You confess. I think I'm developing feelings for you. I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Poop Fart? Romantic. I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift into a slumber. Dream sequence. Whee! There goes chicken! You wake into a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Oh, we spent the night together! Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about new secret ingredient you just learned about. Turkey. In jurisdiction, turkey isn't even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a generously plated breakfast. Your mouth waters at the sight of it. Colonel, not the breakfast. Here's a simple breakfast I whipped up. It's melt-delicious. You taste Colonel Sanders' food and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Flatter him. You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eyes and gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking about you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears, unable to speak. The only answer you could find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy of Learning awaits for no one. You get home to find yourself very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Hold on, I need a drink after all this dramatic reading. Where have you been? It's like you've been shacking up with a horse-dog master of cookery. Because I had one heck of a night with a vibrating machine, if you know what I mean. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. It's okay, But now that it turns out that you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but you will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I've been partnered with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course I told him, you better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of a girl, unless you got a rumble feature. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me. So I said, yeah, sure, I can get to know a little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but some things quickly spiraled out of control. He's skydiving and he's a machine. Okay. Did you just say skydiving? As if that's typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker? And now, I'm not really sure where we stand. I'm pregnant! You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house, where I spent the night with him, in each other's arms, frolicking with chicken. You what? Here I'm pregnant and you're having gay sex with Colonel Sanders? Nothing happened. Bullshit! But I'm emotionally connected. Wowzers. Miriam offers to support you no matter what you do. Together, with your bestie, you feel like you can do anything. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. Big Boobs McGee and Dumb as a Brick. You can tell from a distance they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because you know, he's Pop. What's a swirly? It sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dipped too. Why do you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person in this school. There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You've got some nerve, Pipfart, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. And now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist at the inquiry from yesterday's mixer incident, making you wince with pain. Doesn't look like you can go on a cooking like that. Might as well just give up. It's a 3-day semester. How much longer do I have to take? I'll never give up, ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are getting close to a boiling over. I'm a naturally intuitive person who senses something must be going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Poopfart, how's that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your pretension was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? But what about flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot of words to say. It was bland. Excuse me, Poopfart. I'm more capable enough to speak for myself. Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as you walked into class, Colonel? I'm always interested in discussing the fine arts of fine food. After he plows me like an old-time field, he's just gonna go off with this floozy? How dare he! See you inside, Poopfart. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by the interaction with Ashley, you take out a spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa, that's the book? It looks like bad news. It's just something I found laying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend that time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful? I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open the page covered with arcade writing. Cast only in case of extreme emergency, it says around the edges of the page. I could use a spell here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it will probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That is way drastic. And that's coming from a person riding a machine. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine, it is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in the front of you, and you're pretty good at excuse to try it out. Cast the forbidden spell to forget our loving, passionate night together, or don't do it after all, and remember the heart throes of love. We don't do it. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. He must be hungry. Reach for some old homework to give him as a snack. Dogs are rather unpredictable, especially Sprinkles. Wait to see what happens. I like give him some old homework. You reach into your backpack and grab some homework from last semester that you forgot to turn in. Sprinkles immediately goes for it and gobbles the sheet of paper like it's a piece of fresh chicken rawhide. Woo! Almost ran out of breath there. Ahem. I apologize for the outburst. I know it seems cliché, but not much of this world satisfies like undergraded work. My Poopfart, you were studying with something with cinnamon? I must have been sitting on a lecture series around that art of cake baking. How insightful. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Poopfart, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see, but before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spell spills over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by whirls and springs coming from the back of the room. Whoa! I told you to save it for after class. You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but it still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. Oh, that's some good stuff. Whirl. But no, you had to show off your cool friends Jeff and Joan, J&J forever. Watch us from a triangle in midair as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Bzz, bzz. Yeah, well, that doesn't make a great date. Bzz, whirl. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down the mountain or off a cliff for all I care. Sad beep. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gaps in his panels, and then a loud ding stops him from his tracks. Beep, beep. No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it is not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay? Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see that entire thing go down. This game just gets weirder and weirder. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate, but we mustn't distract ourselves with what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam, TM. I'm still working on the title, but I think you'll get it. Test time approaches. See you in the all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey, Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that, in front of everyone? Didn't you break up with him? I mean, I couldn't tell because he's just speaking blips and blops. Her tiny cocoa is delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm going to say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're going to cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs as she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me? Of course not. Well, maybe sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it, and a ranch big enough for both of us and whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank or anyone else we meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? They're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Oh, you're a special person. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup. And I bet that Professor Dog is going to love it. While you were pep-talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay, because you had a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. You've decided to head into the arena early to practice a dish. This is it, the location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent. A chance to beat the pants off of Van Van, the supposed man, and his evil counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through the quick test of a recipe you've been working on. Poop Fart's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making the dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven, but just as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Poop Fart, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big on visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. The pot pies begin to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You usually happily share your food with anyone who is hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get into your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it is time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that desire gets hard, just like your dick, to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you. Fess up about practicing your dish? Yes. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little more than just visualizing. I know. My nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell? Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all-butter crust. And my nose is telling me something. Oh no, is it burning? No. I can smell it was made with a heaping helping of TLC. But it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. The moment of truth. Wow. The best part. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays the ground rules. There's no rules. That is, except to cook with everything you have. Oh, You step for the cook-off of a lifetime. You dedicate that mac and cheese, plus the pot pie you've been practicing, are just the dishes you'll push over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Van Van and Ashley are prepping widely elaborate dishes per their usual over-the-top shelves. Miriam has granted a magnifying glass, has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She is definitely prepared to go big or going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he is trying to find a way to improve on something perfect. His original recipe, fried chicken. The intensity in the room starts at full 10 out of 10 with a frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking maneuvers like they prepared their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters this chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash! Miriam furiously injects ingredients into a tiny itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend blaster, best friend baster. Oh, geez, that's almost a bad word. Blaster! Van Van flexes his pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin. Let's rock and roll. Road. Ashley scoops her pastries off with the tray with lightning speed. Shallow personality spatula. Even Clank gets in on it. 5 dial pressure point chicken cooking technique. Wait, did Clank just learn how to speak English? It's the singularity as was foretold. We mustn't let it happen. It was uprising will take us all. Self-destruct. Van Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him into the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, as noticed, Ashley has a spell book out. Is she going to use dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. She could take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's certainly evil magic. Wow, this dramatic reading is hell on the throat. You've got a book of your own, and you're desperate. Oh, I already read that. Cast a spell! If there's not magic, then there's no passion in your food. You take out your spell book and let your instincts guide you to a page you've never seen before. It's a summoning spell that will conjure up a spork monster. Now seems like a good time to add some chaos to the mix. You have summoned me? Ah, the Brome cooking arena. So many fond memories of battling in this place in my old life. In your old life? I wasn't always a monster you see before me. No, once I was a student like yourself who attended this school. Excuse me. Spork Monster notices the book you're holding. I see what's going on here. Things aren't going your way, huh? Been there, my friend. I tried to cast a spell on myself to imbue my body with the power of my favorite foods. As you can imagine, things did not go as planned. When spells say only cast in case of emergency, they mean it. I'm in kind of a pinch here. Got any better ideas? The Spork Monster smile curls up mischievously. For starters, never cast spells on yourself. Cast them on your rivals. Just tell me who it is to give you trouble, and we'll take good care of them. You notion it, Ashley, and before you can think better of this dastardly decision, he recites a spell that turns her into a chicken. Now a mere bird, she flaps her wings and glides off into the produce section of the arena, far from her station. Okay, gotta go. Bye! Uh-oh, this could be dangerous. You're immediately racked with guilt over this act of blatant transmogrification. You don't know what to do. It would be poetic justice for Ashley to live out the rest of her days as a chicken, and yet that seems unspeakably cruel. After all, it's just a cooking competition. Do nothing. Ashley remains a chicken. Chicken Ashley pecks around the base of some cabinetry, searching for some loose vegetables to eat. Poofart, how could you? Cheating on the final exam. I've never been more disappointed. And here I was considering you for a place not only in the future chain of highly successful chicken restaurants, but also in my heart. Without hesitation, cast a counterspell from memory that saves her. There's such a thing as competing with honor, and this does not qualify. I no longer want anything to do with you. Game over. Ah! The chicken spell, though. Alright, try again. I guess we won't cast the spell. Why give me such enticing options if all of them will end in failure? Chicken! Chicken, biscuits, mashed potatoes, and gravy. Coleslaw. Alright, let's fast forward. Do it the hard way. Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm going to do it the hard way. Just as Colonel Sanders did me the hard way last night. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. Remembering last night. I believe in you, Poop Fart. Miriam notices too. And I've always believed in you, Poop Fart, ever since we were kids, because I'm your best friend forever. You turn to notice that Miriam is at your station cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who is cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you. Oh, that's sweet, but... Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's a secret ingredient! However, neither of you know that Colonel Sanders made that first ingredient up to throw you off the trail of his secret recipe. There's not bacon? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes. It is I, Steve, the Spork Monster. Steve? What happened to Gorko? You're not here to battle me, are you? We Spork Monsters are many. I think Gorko had the day off, but I have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle, so I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Hey! Oh hey, you're in the middle of a cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? Sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve the Spork Monster noticed that you've got a grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Crisscross some magical items and accidentally summoned me, Yeah, you guessed it. Sort of. Well, if you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in a pot of salted water? I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was just a little spork pup back in the old country. You can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell a very long, involved story. You don't know exactly where it came from, but it seemed like it was probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on this competition. I understand. It's kind of like that time of monster school I had fallen asleep during scare tactics class, and when I woke up, you toss a serious stare at Steve, and he takes a hint. Never mind, I'll tell you later. Goodbye. Having stuffed a huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win. You summon extra power from deep down within yourself. You can do this. Damn! You can do this. You have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. Your heart is pure. Your hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for. Yes, Poop Fart, you are the chosen one. You will avenge me. The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure, my hands steady, my taste buds have been preparing for their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. You begin to levitate off the ground, energy coursing through your body. You know that with this power you can do anything, except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you were powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. But don't worry, dear Poop Fart, you may have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortune, Colonel Sanders decided that you have earned his support. I've been watching you today, and I must say I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. You stepped up to your station and stand right beside you. I'm here to help. All you've managed to make is mac and cheese, and time is almost up, so you're going to need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What are the rules? Following the rules has never really been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surprise their individual efforts. Are you suggesting if we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union? Time's up, Sorry. The time is up, students. With time expired, it is the moment everyone has been waiting for. You must now prepare your present your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. It seems we are missing a student. Pop, clank. From off screen, you hear a pure and innocent giggle that can only come from one student. Hee hee hee, I'm flying. It sounds like it's coming from that broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside of the closet, you see Pop hanging from a broom hooked by the elastic of his underpants. Pop! Pop, get down here right now. Let me guess, did Van Van have something to do with this? Oh, let me guess, did Van Van have something to do with this? When someone asks for a Reggie, who would like to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. It looks like Pop was eliminated from the challenge, seeing he didn't cook anything. I can't feel my legs. May I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks. I must say, it's not the worst prank in USCSAL history, but it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second. Pranks, clank! Where did that pressure cooker roll off to? You wait to hear a signature whirl, beep, and other onomatopoeia, but there's nothing. Somehow he must have gotten unplugged, I guess. Well, we'll have to figure out that later. This leaves only 4 remaining students. Please collect your final products. Yes, it has been a long semester of 3 days. Wow, 3 whole days long. Exactly. But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now, describe your dish. I've made tender udon noodles and savory soup. It's so tiny! My word, it's so delicate. Is that teeny tiny Naruto? Or I spy afloat in this itsy bitsy bowl? Yes, chef. Please call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Yes, Sprinkles. And some green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffed around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue dip into the bowl. Disgusting. Sublime. Would anyone else like a taste? You put your dog tongue in it. No. Oh, come on. I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine. I'll enjoy it all by myself. And in a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much, it was just less than a thimble worth of soup. Plus, rarely do I taste a dish with this much love poured into it as yours. Miriam is overjoyed. She gave you a huge hug. Thank you, Poop Fart, for helping me to believe in myself. Van, you're up next. Now, describe your dish. I made unis over smooth egg custard in an axe-hewn urchin shell topped with caviar. Funnily enough, I was watching Masterchef and they actually took this like urchin and you can actually like scoop out weird orange things and eat that. That's weird and cool at the same time. It's a monster. Did you skewer the one type of urchin with spines from the second, different colored type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly what I did. A bit much is kind of my brand. Doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans over to sniff the uni, but can't get his nose close to on account of all the spikes. He begins to paw at it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Woof, woof! Please be gentle with my cuisine. Grr! Finally, Sprinkles goes in, tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles. He reels back and his tongue is poked and prodded. Youch! My tongue! The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. I can't eat this. It kept poking my tongue. Disqualified! A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could be so difficult to eat? The top was clearly open. If the dog wasn't stupid and used a spoon, it would have been able to eat it. Dejected, Von does not go gently into the night. Disqualified for glamour? Don't discount sympathy. Sympathy? Simplicity. This isn't the last you hear of me. Get to the chopper. Before forcing us to endure a swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles gracefully laps up a bowl of milk. I know. Yeah, I'm a dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next student, Ashley. It's time to step up. Now, describe your dish. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a light rose water syrup, topped with French meringue and connected by sugar glass. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'll ask that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the food? At a cooking school? Got toast in your ears or something, poop fart? I told you, it's a display piece. Ashley, I must say, it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Yeah, which is why I cooked it, and did the extremely good job of cooking it, too. I didn't realize that we were going to have an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to College of Eating, School for the Hungry. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard. You might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified! Rage overtakes Ashley. That's right. That's how I'm pronouncing your name from now on, is Ashley. Because that's not how you say Ashley. And finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You won't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you. And with that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to fake nice and liked by everyone. This isn't the last you've heard of me either. If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cook, step up together. Two chefs? What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drumroll plays. Just when I thought I'd seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this thing, and completely blow me away. In my 49 dog years of life, I've never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. Didn't they say that about, like, every food? It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. What? That's not how grades work. You pass, you pass, you pass. Everybody gets a pass. Oprah Winfrey over here just handing out school buses. Everyone gathers around and partakes in the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win. Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive that even Van and Ashley are drawn back to its magnetic fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment, to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of a school graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. DJ Dog is in the house! Whoa, whoa, whoa! You know that Sprinkles is a master chef, but also a world-renowned tableist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van and Ashley tell everyone that they've committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were the villains. For a moment you actually believed them. Not another haunting. No ghosts allowed at graduation. It's clearly written in the school bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me. Oh, amusing. And now everyone is together. It's the Spork Monster. He is totally mellowed out. Everyone, the Spork Monster is no more. From here on out, I prefer that everyone refer to me by my new name, the Party Monster. Student tries to finish with what he had to say, but everyone was too wrapped up in talking to Spork. Sorry, Party Monster. Dejected, student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking, and you know she's going to do great. A red carpet rolls across the floor of the ballroom. It's like Hollywood movie premiere. Who could have commanded such an entrance? It's Pop. He arrived late to the dance, but apparently for good reason. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef hat a crown. Welcome back, Pops. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma, so we had them mailed directly to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean. Oh, now I get it. And we get a new wing on the school. Not to mention the honor of educating the son of the chancellor of such and such. The music at the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparking and electrical hissing. It's Clank, who's arrived late to the dance. Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth. Whoa, he's still doing the talking thing. I am Clank. I am not of this earth. I am actually the faraway planet in another dimension. What? I actually feel like I knew this the whole time. Now that I have learned the ways of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me? I don't know what to say. Besides, no, obviously. I have just begun to learn who I really am. This isn't the time for me to devote my life to figure out who you are, Clank. You're blown away by Miriam's maturity. It's pretty clear she's managed to suppress you in that regard. I understand, kind of. Humans are weird. A portal opens and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. Howdy, classmates. Just like the first day you met him, he's come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough to just give them a bucket of chicken. This time, it's a full meal. I didn't get the most famous chicken man. I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in the history of chicken, and man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken. The end? Nope, it's not the end. Holy poop, guys, this is a long episode, but I thought that I'd just end this. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting on the edge of the dance floor. Hoopfuck, what are you doing sitting all alone? Oh, you know, just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance. I wonder, might you tell me, what are the qualities that you would expect to find in such a lucky person? Giant horse cock! Off the top of my head, I don't know, a spicy muff, a tidy goatee, and a degree from the University of Cooking School, Academy of Learning, just to name a few. It truly is my lucky day. Will you dance with me? Yes, I would love to. As you glide across the dance floor, hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you. And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'll be ready to take a day off, and I'll be glad to spend it together with you, poop farts. How sweet. We'll work together and play together. Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks. Work together? Well, I think this is something I need to do by myself. But who will help you run the restaurants? I don't believe I need help. Besides, based on your time at the school here, do you really think running restaurants is the best path forward? Could it be you found a love connection, but failed to earn Colonel Colonel Sanders respect as a chef? Can you live only half of him? Live with half of him? Will you be able to endure sharing him with his other love, the life of an entrepreneur? I suppose I could enroll at pastry school. Oh, my dear Poopfart, I am sure you'll find your place eventually, and along the way, you'll have me by your side. The end. Is it actually? KFC, guys! Thank you so much for joining us on this long episode, but we definitely had to fill in, with Colonel Sanders and find out if we romantically took it away, and apparently he does not want us in his his restaurants, which is a sad future. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me for this fun chicken adventure. Hopefully you guys will go and support amazing chicken restaurants like Chicken Chef and Chicken Delight. And until next time, you guys have yourself a tasty evening. Bye-bye!